Welcome everyone to week 9 of the Lost Cause podcast, the only podcast by players and for players of the Lost Woods Draft League, hosted by the incomparable Leaf. I'm Jacob, coach of the St. Louis Andrews.
I'm Kian, coach of the Massachusetts Mareeps.
You can win.
I'm Chris. I'm coach of the Macho Mudkips. I was gonna give it to you.
That's so kind of you. In the last week, you're beautiful.
Canadians in the speed tie.
Anyway, I'm Anthony, coach of the Lexington Lux Rays.
Here we are.
Chris, you know we're on a deadline.
Yeah, I know. I realize.
Introduce yourself.
It's okay. It's
No, I
okay.
did.
Oh, I didn't
I
do
did.
it. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
We're good.
Let's
Let's keep
okay.
Cut
going.
that out.
Either
We'll
way.
cut that out.
We won't
Let's
cut
keep
it
it
out.
rolling. No, they
We are
need
going
to know.
start. The people need to know. We're going to start right into it with talking about week 8. Happened a little bit ago. We're a little bit late on it, but week 8, some pretty big games happened, folks. I don't know if y'all heard about it. The biggest ones as far as playoff position go, of course, Leaf beating Oxygen, the Latchkey Kids with that win, securing themselves a spot into playoffs. Chris beating John, the Macho Mudkips, getting themselves into the playoffs. And then, unfortunately, I had to play Rockwell, and we see how that one ended up, and that was the end of Rockwell's season there. Any other... anything exciting that y'all want to talk about for week 8?
To keep it quick, Alex kicked my ass. Prep God. That guy's the GOAT. I don't know how to beat Alex if I face them in finals. There we go.
Yeah, Alex being in playoffs now is just such an absolute... I'm pretty sure they had it locked before this week, but still that seeding ruined someone's day. I forget who. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, my set with Gorosian, to keep it short, very scary. I know they have more tricks up their sleeve for if we meet in semifinals, but the team was very scary, and I 2-0'd because I'm awesome, and I love hacks. I love hacks so much. I love hacks more than them, which is why I won. Another cool match was Muhammad and Curry Puff, just the creativity off. You know, they were just shooting the shit. Like, neither of them really had like playoffs locked by any means, so they were just having their fun, and it's you love to see it, truly.
And shout out Chris, baby. but yeah, talking about some of those playoff matchups, we'll take a look just at the top 8. Of course, standard bracket, 1 plays 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. The important thing is that with Alex torching Big Tone on the call here, that meant that I did have to win my set in order to not play Alex in round 1 of the playoffs, and thank God I did, because I'm also terrified of playing that team. So thankfully, I did lock up the 2nd seed. Anthony 4, Kian 5. That's going to be heinous for round 1. And my win over Rockwell, getting Chris into playoffs as well. So 4 for 4 on the Lost Cause guys get into the playoffs.
This is beautiful. This is cinema.
Simply too good.
We started at the beginning of the season, like maybe a few of us will get we'll get playoffs. You know, it was like alternating, couple people winning 1 week, more people losing 1 week, weeks where we all won, and here we are. Next week the pod is going to be a little bit devastating, regardless of the outcome. Wait, it's probably going to be a week after, you know, extensions, Baltimore and stuff. But
truth.
Whatever happens. I love Big Tone, and I'm so excited for the match.
I love my boy Kian, little swaddling the baby, you know, my GOAT, and yeah, next week's gonna be rough, as of recording this.
Yeah, I'm very sad. It's good and bad, because at the very least it means guaranteed at least one of us is making it to semifinals. The downside, of course, is that 2 of our finest have to go up against each other, and I don't know. I'm curious to see how Chris feels about this too. I think it's super close. The thing is, like, I think both these teams they're 2 of my favorite teams in the league, 2 of my favorite players in the league. I think low key, I might have to give the edge to Kian, but that's just on paper.
Dude, what?
you never know. You never know how it plays out
Yeah,
in the game.
I agree with that. It really just boils down to who can cook harder. Like, the teams go like just clashing with each other. Like, there's no clear advantage I feel like one team has over another, and like it's just gonna be a bloodbath.
This might be the week that I actually start prepping.
That's crazy. Big Tone finally taking off the leg weights.
I was like Rock Lee.
Call me
Rock Lee in
the
playoffs.
way these weights are off.
Okay, and to another point, another one of our little Lost Cause matchups. Corrosion and Chris. Battle of the Seas. This one's gonna be I think this one's gonna be really interesting. I talked to Corrosion a bit after our match, and one of the things was like, yeah, like we did get this far, but we're very afraid that like our matchups into the playoffs teams are not as easy as like the regular season ones. And I think Chris's team is like a prime example of that, just with how many options that kind of go against what has been so relied on. Like the Magmar, you have a rain mode. The Snow, you have a rain mode. The Como, you have a Bear Tick that's going to be faster in the rain mode. Like, it's honestly going to be a battle of board state control, but I think Chris has more oppression out the gate in that sense.
Yeah, at least in my eyes, I just have to I have to be super careful about how I prep into this match. Like I can't just go, with the first thing on my mind. Like I really have to just get the prep in and just be super careful with this and how I'm going to play into their team. And it's stressful. It's gonna be a big match.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one. I think the potential path for the Ruthless Raichus is both the funniest and the most difficult, despite them being the 1 seed. Because it's Chris round 1. Round 2, it's going to be the winner of Anthony and Kian. So if they win, guaranteed to play another Lost Cause person. And then if they make it to finals, and if I can hold up my end on the other side of the bracket, potentially facing me there, I would love to see them have to run the Lost Cause gauntlet, and only then can they truly be the champions.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're just the Elite Four of the league.
That's what I'm saying. But unfortunate for them, though, they went 7-1 in the regular season just to lose in the first round of the playoffs, because my guy Chris, he wins those. That's one thing I know about Chris.
Hi, hello, it's me, Kian's Grimmsnarl. I did psychic damage.
Last couple of matchups, we can talk about me very briefly. I'm playing Leaf. That's actually going to be tomorrow as of recording of the podcast, which I'm very, very excited for. Getting that out of the way before Baltimore Regionals. I'm looking forward to it. If there's one thing I do, it's not lose to Annihilate. So I think I have a lot of tools to shut that guy down. It's really all the pieces around the Abe that I think are very scary for my team. But I think I have enough, I just have enough good stuffs. Rockwell said it a couple of times. I've started to believe it myself that my team is just the best at playing Pokemon. I don't have to use a whole lot of dirty tricks, even though I have a Smeargle. I can just run balance, and I think that'll work well enough against Leaf's team.
Yeah, I think your team is just it has so many outs just built into it. When it comes to things like, for example, if the actually no, I'm not gonna expose tech. You have a lot of outs to what Matt could potentially bring against you. I'm already visualizing sets and different things that you could pull off. I think that it's safe to say that you have a bit of an edge in this matchup, but we know that Matt is an absolute chef. And I'm just waiting to see what happens with it. All of these matches are going to be so very good.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that I know what I can prepare for. I don't know what I need to prepare for against this guy. And the last playoff matchup is going to be Alec versus Alex. Finally, we're going to figure out which one has the better last letter of their name. But I think this one to me, I think is really fun because Alec has just brought 5 of the same 6 mons pretty much every week. in true Big Tone
Someone
fashion.
who does that.
Yeah, using just like a lot of very similar stuff. Whereas Alex has cooked like crazy these last 4 weeks and has gone on a hot streak. Alex has won the last 6 games he's played in this league. Like, I'm really really excited to see what comes out of that one. It feels like the unstoppable force, the immovable object. Like, something's got to give. Where Alex's team is just so hard to break through, but Alex has run so many creative things offensively that I'm really excited to see what is cooked up there.
Talking about this matchup, Loki feels like a tongue twister. I was trying to like comprehend what you were saying. I was like, Alex. Ah! Okay, yeah, these are going to be very good matches. Dude, we're live.
Go on.
Yeah, now, I feel like we've gone over all of top 8.
And with that being said, we can swing right over into the end of regular season awards, brought to you by the Lost Cause podcast, fueled by Kian for making like 99% of this slideshow. Love that guy.
With school and a job, I still locked in. Take notes, everybody who had to schedule their matches till next week. Think about that. I'm looking at half of you. No, I'm looking at half of you.
I'm looking at all of you.
I do not know what you're talking about.
I know who you are.
But anyways.
So we are going to be... Kian, you take it. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to introduce these sections real quick. So we have a few sections. We want to give an award to the most creative coach, someone who is kind of like the most boundless in their team building, the one who made the most crazy, who brought the most crazy stuff, who knows if it worked or not, but they had the gall to pull up to their weak matchup and bring some crazy tech. We've got most improved coach, which generally is going to go to a coach who may not have started out very well or rated very well by anybody, but just proved everybody wrong. Blew us out of the water, blew the whole league out of the water. And yeah, coach of the year is going to go to the best builder and piloter. There were a lot of people who were good builders, a lot of people who were good piloters, but this is going to go to the player who best encompasses both of those categories. Most clutch coach is going to go to the coach that, I can't, I feel like any way I word this is going to spoil it, but it's in the name. They're clutch. Most clutch Pokemon is going to be the one that pulled it all together for their team. And then we will be going into a rapid fire round of talking about the most valuable Pokemon of each team. Initially, you would think that this would just be the Mon with the highest KD, highest differential, but there's a lot more that goes into it when we decided these categories. So without further ado, let's have most creative coach.
Yep, we've got a couple honorable mentions here, and I absolutely adore everyone who's on this list. I've said a lot over the last like 4 or 5 weeks about how just pleasantly surprised I've been with Alex's team building. We know who Rockwell is. That guy is a freaking demon. I think it's still insane that he just got away with getting Sableye and Torkoal. Muhammad, guy who really like stepped up onto the scene. I believe it's his first draft season, but decided to cook every single week. Brought so many cool, fun, innovative sets. And then the old head, Curry, the draft league god. This guy just, we know what we saw. I still couldn't believe, actually, that the Greedent only came to 3 games. I think that's just shows how creative he was. Is that the Greedent was his kill leader and only came to 3 games all season. He just cycled through every single Mon on his team better than I think anybody else in this league. I think that's so cool. But talking about the winner of this award, someone who really, like Kian said, pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible with their team, and that's AJ. Shout out that Porygon Z, shout out the Pseudo Voodoo, shout out Kian, and then of course we can't forget Fingerman and Woodslam Jim, man. I love those guys.
Yeah, I absolutely love.
Hold on. Why is there an axe in the One Piece character's head?
Because it's Terra Steel.
You know what?
It's
no,
Terra
you got me.
Steel.
No, that works. Okay.
Anyways, yes. Would slam him. Would slam Jim. Fingerman. The other one. Goated. I love this man. I love this team. It's beautiful.
Just, I think like this award was very, very close. You know, for me, for all season. And then once we saw just the head smash Sudowoodo, that locked it up. I think that
was tech of the week, by the way. We're not doing the segment this week, but that was tech of the week. Sorry, everyone who like thought they could cook. Would slam him go.
Yeah, no. That just wins. It's one move. It's Terra types rock. No, like no one has that.
God, bro, Wood Slam him is so good. Most creative also because of the nicknames.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Moving on though.
I will be introducing the most improved coach of this season. First time seeing the Mudsdale meme. That's a good one. I'm so hungry I could eat a Mudsdale. Anyway, most improved coaches. Let's go into the honorable mentions. Chris of the Macho Mudkips, this beautiful, absolutely stunning man in the call right here. God, stepped up, cooked some absolute heat some of the seasons, and I ain't gonna lie, I think that Mudsdale was probably my MVP for Chris's team. That thing cooked, and I was confused. I was like, Mudsdale, pretty cool on a rain team. And then it cooked, and I was like, damn, Chris, I'm never doubting you again. I love you, and damn, I have no other words.
Thanks.
Another honorable mention, Rockwell. Another one. Rockwell cooked, absolutely. Rockwell heated up in the last few weeks of playoffs, starting to chef it up. Pot's boiling. And like the pot never overturned. Like there was no spillage on the stove. Like teams consistently so cool. Love that. And then last honorable mention, Mr. Kian, and the call, my other beautiful man, the Massachusetts Mareeps, absolutely chefing it up, and giving the Ruthless Raichus only one loss, and it was them. So Kian, congratulations on that win. But moving on, I do want to give the award of Most Improved Coach to Alex. Good lord. The Azalea Amphiroses, absolutely heat. Baiting everybody with Tatsu Dozo and Glim and Flamigo. And this guy was like, no, I don't need either of these Pokemon to beat everybody. Absolutely cooking everybody in the last 4 weeks. I can't even fight with like their team building abilities. I get absolutely washed. I'm not even gonna front. That was probably not even the hardest match of VGC. That was like I couldn't even fathom Alex's cooking capabilities. Call that alliteration. It's insane. Like Alex cooked so goddamn hard. Bro said, nah, I'll lock in. And proceeded to beat more than half of the entire league without even using Tatsudozo or even Glim. Like, in my match, Terra Electric Choice Band Arcanine one-shots my Primarina, and I can't do anything about that because I'm slow. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Congratulations, Alex. I have nothing for this. And it's like that with Arboliva. It's like, oh my god, Arboliva in grassy terrain, like, whew. I loved it. I loved every single aspect of Alex's team for pretty much the entirety of this, like, second half of the season. And even in the first, Alex locked in 4 straight wins in a row. Good lord. That's crazy. Congratulations on playoffs. So proud that you're in Bracken with us. Congratulations, Alex.
I just think it's so crazy that he started 1-3 and had playoffs locked up before week 8. Like,
He locked
that's
in.
nuts.
He simply
Insane.
locked in.
Locked in.
I would like to thank myself for being a part of that. And going on to our next section, Coach of the Year. As I said before, this is going to be like the best pilot and team builder together. So for the honorable mentions, I'd like to start with Alec and the Sassy Sylveons. This squad of 5+1 goober every week, just about. But he did an incredible job of showing us why meta is meta, and then just rotating sets a little bit. You know, there was just a little bit of spice in every single week. I would like to, the reason why he's only an honorable mention is because I wanted to see a little bit more variety, but from what I saw and like the little wiggle room that his team that was already predetermined to be like goated, like the little bit of variability was so awesome that it still earned its spot here. Corrosion and the Ruthless Raichus are another honorable mention. I'd like to say Corrosion, I would feel comfortable myself saying that they are the best draft builder, if not like one of the very best, but they didn't pilot, so they were not eligible to earn this award. Still, incredible techs every single week, and first seed for a reason. Alex and the Azalea Amphiroses, I can only glaze so much on top of what Tony said, but just literally blew me out of the water. All the footage I saw from him, just even the losses, like, did not go down without a fight, is incredible. And for the Coach of the Year winner, we will have Jacob and the St. Louis Sandshrews. Yeah, I mean, this is very much who I consider and who we consider. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we all decided on Jacob, the best builder and pilot. Because, I mean, we all knew it was going to be locked as soon as that Smeargle was drafted first round. We knew we were in for something this week. And this entire league just pledges, you know, parish trap, like so many little things going on with the team. It was cinema. And not to mention incredible content. Pictured is me right before bed, you know, candle lit by my bed, just watching some Lintimon before bed. You know, that's the homie right there. Always got support for the homies. Always got support for incredibly.
That makes sense.
That scared the shit out of me. Holy fuck. I actually just had a heart attack. I thought someone was dying in my house because of that soundboard.
I thought Chris was dying.
Was that
Chris? The worst part... The worst part is that's not even gonna get picked up on the episode.
I know. I unironically farted in fear. I thought I should.
It's gonna be louder than this.
No, my mic was muted. I thought someone was like dying in my house.
I meant to play that at the end of Kian's thing, and I accidentally clicked it.
I visibly jumped. You were going to see me jump on camera.
Oh.
Alright, let's get back to it.
Anyways, all love to the Jacob Lintner. Only Worlds qualifier in the entire league as well. We got a whole extension for that motherfucker. GOAT. I got nothing. But I do have something. There's one more section that I'd like to introduce. Most clutch coach. Undisputed winner. No honorable mentions. No nothing. Leaf and the Latchkey Kids. This is my GOAT. Through and through. You can read it right there. He was running the league. And then, you know, personal things came up. What do? I'm gonna join the league and still run it. Literally making playoffs last week, clutching that win in, having a daughter, buying my old 3DS for a very nice price, thank you for doing that, and being the greatest TO, the most welcoming, beautiful TO that I could ever ask for, and an incredible friend, not to mention. I love this man. I can only say so much. Like, thank you. Thank you for this league. Thank you for this opportunity to play incredible mons. Thank you for this opportunity to allow me to get closer to my friends and people that I haven't really met before. Thank you, Matt.
That's my GOAT.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Incomparable. That's that guy.
We say it every week for a reason.
Every goddamn week.
Actually, there was one more category. This is the most clutch Pokemon of the regular season. and this is going to be the Pokemon. This is going to be the
GIF in the top
Pokemon.
right.
What?
If you're not watching this, look at the GIF in the top right. Pull this up on YouTube, not Spotify.
Yeah, Anthony is blind reacting to this. I did like 90% of the slideshow, and Jacob and Chris did some looking beforehand and did a couple of slides, but we're just getting started.
Oh, it's such a good slideshow. Anyway, most clutch Pokemon, the Pokemon that just like provided the most value on any team throughout the entire season. Some honorable mentions here. We have Hisuian Arcanine from the Massachusetts Mareeps. Just like, you know, it's the crack dog. Like, it wants its crack so bad. You know, the rock slide flinches, like massive damage that it puts out, like just so valuable to Kian's team. Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales specifically on the Ruthless Raichus. There's so many roles that it can fill. You know, you have speed control, you have screens, you have weather to stop like the, you know, numerous amounts of weather that's in the league. Like,
you have double freezing.
You do have double freezing. Like, there's so much that this Mon does in the team. It's crazy. It's so good. And the last one being Mienshao on the Gaian Agudras. I know Rockwell has personally used Mienshao a lot, whether it's like actual competitive VGC or in this draft league. They have so much experience using Mienshao, and it is such a good Pokemon. You get so many good moves out of it between Fake Out, Feint, Wide Guard. You have such strong close combats coming from it, especially in this lower power format. And it's definitely an honorable mention here. But the most clutch Pokemon of this season is, of course, Kingambit. You know, nobody was ever doubting that it wouldn't be Kingambit, or that it would be. You know, it's the first Lost Wood Draft League Mon to develop chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
This guy on monitor 2 is going crazy.
This guy is never going to med school.
I spent like 20 minutes trying to get the pronunciation down in my head, and I screwed it up either way. Anyway,
could have just said CTE, man.
Yeah, but like I wanted to be fancy with it, and I failed. But anyway,
it's okay.
Like you know, the KD of course is not the only metric that a clutch Pokemon would have, but like you just can't deny like it has 25 kills, man. Like it just like provided so much for Anthony's team. It's just insane how much this Mon did for this team, and I think we all agree that like it just fits into that most clutch Pokemon category.
Yeah, where a lot of the honorable mentions were all incredible and were so varied and did so many good things. They were also on teams that had 10 other Pokemon. If the Lexington Luxrays don't have Kingambit, I don't know where they end up, but they're not. they're not doing what they did this season. I'm telling you that much right now.
I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank my family. As we see on the screen here, if you consult the graph, Kingambit didn't have a kill for like week 6 and week 7 because he was on vacation. He was chilling out in the Bahamas.
Dude, he was on your team.
He was on my team, but he was also chilling out in the Bahamas in my head. That's my headcanon. But yeah, dude was on vacation. He still has 25 kills. He's the kill leader right now. He fell off, but he got 2 kills against Alex. That's about it. Little re-up, you know. He's coming back from vacation. I hope to utilize him better in playoffs. We are cooking right now. The pot's on. But yeah, I'm very glad I drafted Kingambit, one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, if not my favorite Gen 9 Mon. And yeah, that's about it.
Now we're gonna go rapid fire. I think we just go around the horn here. So I can kick it off with the Ruthless Raichus. No question, it is Alolan Ninetales. Chris already mentioned a lot of the reasons why this Mon was so broken, but we didn't even talk about the fact that this thing went offensive and it was scary. This thing had, like, yeah, the 10-to-1 KD, the best ratio of of kills to deaths in the league by a pretty wide margin. Just absolutely nuts. All it did was sit on the field, be annoying, freeze the opponents, and just never let the opponent have any wiggle room. It was just disgusting.
I'm crying laughing right now looking at the bottom picture.
I told you it gets better.
I stood up and walked away.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't much else to be said. This mon is so deceptive. It can really do so much. Encore stuff, Blizzard stuff, Veil stuff. It's disruption in the way that it can disrupt you, and then it can also freeze you. Yeah, so let's keep this rapid fire. I can go next. St. Louis Sandshrews. It's Skeledirge. This guy, beautiful. It's beautiful. I love Skeledirge. I mean, 19 kills, 4 deaths. What? Like, actually,
second best AD in the
KD
league.
ratio. Like the ratio,
in the league, baby.
The ratio is like this. I think the second best when compared to Alolan Ninetales. Like, obviously, like the number difference is also wild. Kingambit, coming for you. Yeah.
You could never.
Cinema. Okay.
Big time.
MVP for the Sassy Sylveons, Tyranitar. Following in the footsteps of Sir Gambit on my team, it's really giving Kingambit its run for its money. It is literally a kill behind. It also has a better diff than Kingambit. I think Kingambit is 14. T-Tar has 17 in differential for kill to death ratio, and 24 KOs. That's like kind of a lot. You know what's better than 24 though? 25. Hopefully Alec can bring that back. I believe, because T-Tar's busted.
That's why he's the GOAT.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, the MVP of the Luxington Luxrays. You know, we already gave King Gambit most clutch Pokemon. We just had to give another one the spotlight in Staraptor here. You know, the whole season it did only do one thing exactly, but it just did that thing so well. You know, just getting rid of anything on the field, really. And just
I'm
like,
a bird!
Combining that with the power of King Gambit, like, unstoppable.
Yeah, no, this guy's entire mentality this season was, I'm going down, you're coming with me. It was beautiful. You love to see it.
Notoriously, hold on, quick pause in the Lost Woods podcast recording. Did you know that statistically 1 in 4 people do a really good Angry Birds impression?
No way.
Jacob, is this guy?
Wait, hold on, no, Chris. I think this is right.
This is the guy,
This is
right?
the guy.
Preview for future episodes. Stay tuned for more Angry Birds content. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Next on the list, no question for the Massachusetts Mareeps, that it's freaking Grimmsnarl. Kian did want us to play. Oh, what was the song? It was Rick Ross.
It's okay. It's not there anymore.
It's
I was
not
gonna
there
have like
anymore.
I'm a boss playing. It was gonna like. Yeah. You get the
But
idea.
You
Anyway.
get the idea, though. All this Grimmsnarl did was the exact opposite of what everyone prepped for every single week. If you're prepped for screens, it's going bulk up. It's sucker punching your life into oblivion. If you are prepping for it to go bulk up, you can just do like a sassy little screens. Oh, and then your entire team's getting thunder waved and you're never moving because Kian also is going to run double rock slide and flash cannon, and flash cannon doesn't flinch, but dark pulse does. And truly disgusting Pokemon that fuels my Hax god unlike any other. Truly just beautiful. And more than anything, this guy just like so flexible because it was able to solve like every matchup. The mouse ape, you know, is what Kian wanted us to say here, but like that Grimmsnarl was spooky. That Grimmsnarl, like, it just does everything. Not as good as Smeargle, but it does everything.
I loved that I picked this guy up. Like I couldn't be happier. This is the close team sheet demon. He's Smeargle's long lost brother. He does it all.
That's gross.
And for me, the MVP of the Azalea Amphrosis has to be, beyond the shadow of a doubt, Arcanine. Really able to just run any set. It can do Clear Amulet, like Will-O-Wisp support. it can run Howl, it can run Choice Band, it can run Choice Scarf. Alex really did his best at bringing the full potential out of this Pokemon, and to the point that Anthony mentioned earlier, Primarina on the field. Oh my god, I have such a good matchup into this thing. Boom, Terra Electric Wild Charge. Similar thing happened to me. I got Grimmsnarl and Empoleon on the field. I'm like, man, I win this. Howl into Choice Band, close combat into my poor Empoleon, never stood a chance. And I thought I was in the good board state. Yeah, picture related. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, I love washing machines, dude. If only they didn't overflow like mine does. Matt's doesn't overflow. MVP for Matt the Latchkey Kids, washing machine, Rotom form. Here we see, how do we pronounce it? Schrodinger's? Okay,
Schrodinger.
Cool. We'll go Schrodinger's Rotom wash. And it goes like this. I won't know if the Rotom is Specs or Scarf or Screens until I look inside this box. And then it is Lefties, Substitute, Nasty Plot, Protect, Thunderbolt, 4-piece Rotom. And then, we go from there. What can I say? I have nothing to say about Rotom Wash. This is a generational Pokemon. Like, Chris and I tried to build a team with it back last year. We all know how that went.
Tried. We were successful.
I think Rotom does.
Rotom too.
I think Rotom does everything that Matt wants. This Pokemon is absolutely fantastic, generational pickup that it was utilized perfectly because Rotom's so versatile and it can do literally anything. And Matt just brought any form of Rotom and won. And it's like Matt locked in. It's like it does everything. You can give it Willow, you can give it Thunderbolt, you can give it like Hydro Pump, you can give it Thunderbolt. Wait, I just said that twice. Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, this thing does literally everything, and I'm glad Matt drafted this. MVP. I wash your clothes. I love Rotom Wash.
Actually, Matt could only bring one form of Rotom.
Actually,
you have one of them.
Because
you
I have
have
Rotom,
one of them.
Technically, Rotom cut, but yeah, I knew that.
Okay, but like also, why are the Rotom separate Pokemon, but the Oricorios aren't? That's a conversation for the offseason.
And season 2 of Lost Woods Draft League, maybe with a higher cap coming to you in a tournament soon. Yep.
Yeah, so this is the MVP of the Macho Mudkips, aka my team, and I picked Bronzong for this. I think Bronzong just really ties the team together. Being able to set up Chickerman screens for everything else to just sweep and take the rest of the game. My hungry ass horse and Cocaine Bear. They just took the rest of the game once like Bronzong was able to set up for them. Just like a truly just the Pokemon that got everything started. Like if I didn't have Bronzong, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I did this season really.
Before we move on, Chris, I do just need to know what was your issue with Anthony's? Was it his pronunciation of Schrodinger?
Yeah, y'all make fun of me for mispronouncing CTE, but when Anthony pronounces Schrodinger.
Okay, but it's literally it's okay. We'll talk about this after. That is a valid pronunciation. You were like esophagus, and
Not to mention the worst offense. This guy says GIF.
He does say GIF.
Okay.
He does say GIF.
Okay.
No. Okay, I'm recovering.
Chris says GIF instead of GIF.
I am recovering. I have been trying to say GIF more. I'm a recovering abuser.
Saying addict.
But yeah, Bronzong, just such a good Pokemon on my team.
Let's go.
Shout out Guyana Gudras. This slide was very scary for me to make personally, because this guy's fucking spooky. I still can't believe we let Rockwell get this guy, because like this is just like 3 weeks. I just like clicked on 3 of Rockwell's OTSs and pulled 3 up here. Like it can do anything, and it's awful because it has Prankster and it's bulky and it can't be Prankstered back, and it also can't be faked out, and it just does everything. And Rockwell used it so well throughout the entire season, just like that, to plug every hole on his team, the same way that Kian used the Grimmsnarl, except I was gonna say except all supportive, but there was one week I remember where this Sableye went, I think it was Black Glass's Terra Dark knockoff for something. I can't remember what it was for, but it was offensive and it was meant to like 2-hit KO stuff. It was awful. A demon, a true demon.
Yeah, this thing, big, absolute, like the evil prankster brothers of Sableye and Grimmsnarl, I'm afraid, ran this league, ran everyone's prep. And you can see like all these sets, and not even pictured is the Black Glasses, which should be Dreadplate, Terra Dark, knockoff, Sableye. Like there's so much, man. It's beautiful.
Terrifying.
All right, and
my bad.
This is the Waltham Watchdogs. Their MVP undoubtedly has to be Indeedee. You know, big supporter to her lover Hatterene throughout the entire league. Just a little cutie pie, and with a differential that does not matter because she sat still and looked pretty, and that's all we could ask of her. She really brought out the best in the Waltham Watchdogs.
If you're asking women to do more than 1 kill and 12 deaths, that's on you. Those are your expectations. That's the patriarchy speaking through you. And I think we all just need to take a second here to recognize she's cute, bro.
What do you mean?
That's it.
Dude,
you're up.
Shout out to the Toronto Toads. Love you, AJ. MVP for them. It's gotta be Hydreigon. This thing didn't get like a lot of kills, but like it's Hydreigon. You can go so many ways with it. Choice specs, Assault Vest Snarl, shout out Kian, Scope Lens, Focus Energy. That thing does damage. It doesn't care about stat drops. Yeah. It came to 15 games. Wow, I can't read. And it only got 7 kills, but it did get 13 deaths. But I think this Hydreigon really gave AJ like a powerhouse that wasn't Porygon Z, that also has like a really decent speed stat, along with like, oh hey, I can actually run like bulky Hydreigon and it would still output like a really good amount of damage, whereas Porygon Z is like a glass cannon. So I think Hydreigon is like a really good MVP pick here. It's versatile, it outputs special damage, you can do numerous things with it, and it kind of like just meshes well with everything else on AJ's team.
Yeah, this to me is emblematic of why AJ was also our most creative coach. Was this Hydreigon, like we saw it week 1, Focus Energy, Scope Lens, you know, it just does damage. We know Hydreigon to be that strong mon, but he used it in such like creative and supportive ways for the rest of the team that, you know, despite the KD, it put in so much work, and I just loved seeing it every single week.
You've got this, Chris.
Nah, he'll figure it out.
So the funny thing is, I was looking at it on my other monitor preparing for what to say, but it was over here the whole time. So this is the Island Dragons MVP, which is Breloom. I think Breloom is really cool on the Rain team that Hawk has, because I think it enables a lot on the team. You know, you can threaten a fast Spore to put things to sleep. You have really good coverage into what they might bring against Rain teams. I just think it's like it's a good Pokemon to fix holes that Rain might have trouble with. I think just like very, very useful to have on a Rain team.
Yeah. The crazy part is this was also his kill leader on a team with Archelodon in Rain, Water Tauros in Rain.
Yeah, it is
The
powerful.
Mach Punch does some whack shit, dude.
Yeah. This guy's strong.
You guys couldn't even see that. That's how fast it was. Sorry.
Thank you, Kian. For the District of Columbrian, I was torn between a couple of Pokemon, but I think it just had to be the Gallade. This guy, terrifying. I, for me personally, I really didn't think of Gallade as being like that guy. In this format, in Draft League, or in Reg H in general, like I just always think of Gallade as being this very underwhelming Pokemon. It's very middling with all of its stats. It's not doing enough damage. It's not fast enough. It's not bulky enough. But none of that matters if you have sharpness, boosted, high crit rate moves that are just going to blow through everything because your Salamence friend is giving you a Dragon Cheer or you're running a Scope Lens. Like, it was just able to do so much freaking damage because of the support that Sam's team had for it, but also because it's just that guy. Like, this is one of the few pure offensive MVPs that we had for this list, and he absolutely earned it because of how much Gallade carried his team offensively through so many weeks.
Yeah, this thing is just so damaging. Like,
yeah.
It's so anti-setup because it'll just crit you through it on any given week. Sacred Sword you through it. It's just, Psychic Fighting is already such good offensive coverage, and then if you give that thing sharpness and it's in the right matchup in this lower power format, it's over. It's so over. But for this next MVP, the Cycling Cyclizars, we have Mousehold. And while the lovely Curry Puff did go 2-6 as pictured in the GIF and the photo, it's Mousehold, man. Like, there were so many different things that were done with this. Friend Guard stuff, surprise Terra Dragon Cheer with like Technician Pop Bomb to just nuke everything, which I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was in Tony's matchup.
That was my matchup. That thing was fucking horrifying.
Honestly, like, it was kind of difficult to pick an MVP because, as mentioned before, Curry Puff made sure that every single Pokemon on the team was so valuable. But in the end, it was the family of 4 or 3, depending on the week, that really carried Curry Puff to those 2 wins. That's my GOAT.
Call Mousehold Dom Toretto the way family's important.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
I love this mod. It's so good.
Anyway, shout out Muhammad for coaching the Worcester. Oh my god, I'm from Mass and I said that?
What am I going with you?
Worcester Woosok, sorry.
No.
I did just say that.
Literally says Woosok's there too. You had to go into your brain and go, no, that's short for Worcester.
What?
Come on now.
Oh my god.
You're better than this.
The Worcester Woosoks. I don't know why Muhammad called Hitmontop H-Top. I don't know if that's like short for T-Flame or like Talonflame. I don't know if those mesh together. But Hitmontop is versatile. Back in the old days, I'm a boomer of VGC 2016. Hitmontop, crazy mon. Fake Out, Intimidate, Close Combat, Feint, Wide Guard, crazy move pool. And I honestly think, like, with the Terras and Technician boosts and constant like ability swapping that Muhammad did, I think Hitmontop was one of the most unpredictable wild cards that Muhammad actually had. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm not like super invested in attack. I'm like 4 adamant, but this close combat's still gonna knock you out because Hitmontop is him. It's like this little Beyblade, like it did so much. Like I was actually very scared of it in my draft match with Muhammad because I'm like, oh, I have a Kingambit, that's not good, and you still like, you hurt me really bad on Pokemon that I don't resist Hitmontop with. And it's like, even in that set, that was like Technician Aerial Ace, Technician Rock Punch. It's like, that just showed the versatility that Muhammad brought with just one Pokemon being Hitmontop. And it's like, oh yeah, like, you thought I'd be Intimidate, but no, like, I have Technician to do more damage to you. And it's gonna hurt because I, like, don't know what it is. Yeah, shout out Muhammad.
I guess it's really just him on top. I've been holding that in for the past minute. I've been waiting for you to stop talking.
Yeah, I usually get that a
lot. Nah, that's H-Top.
Never from me.
Oh my god!
This is the MVP of the Rambunctious Reggies. Of course it's Blood Moon. Like, of course. It's the same case as Kingambit. Like, it's Blood Moon. It is one of the best Pokemon in this draft league format. Like John unfortunately going 0-8. Blood Moon still carried its weight. In terms of damage and like what it could output. Yeah, it's Blood Moon. I don't know what else to say about it.
Nah, bars, bro. Going 0-8, Blood Moon still pulling its weight. That's my guy. No, there's a reason that, like, throughout John's whole season, Blood Moon came to the most games, had the most kills, had the most deaths. Just truly an unstoppable force if it's positioned well. And yeah, I mean, that's it. The Fungus, spooky. The Instant, spooky. But this guy is why he has his own tier in the tier list to this day.
Proof. Shout out John Tier.
Shout out John Tier.
I love
I think there's one more slide after this, but shout out Colby.
Shout out Muhammad. Shout out all my fans.
Muhammad, Kian's fans. And then the last slide is thank you all for joining us for our first annual Lost Cause podcast regular season award show.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for bearing with me while right after my classes, I just went straight into the art building, like cracked my knuckles, and I'm making a presentation for this. And thanks to my buddies, a little bit of last minute help, we brought this to fruition. You didn't do anything, Tony. Stop
I'm
waving.
saying bye. I'm waiting for you to stop talking.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought we were gonna do like one final like tier list little shakeup.
Yeah.
We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. This is just the end of the presentation.
Chris,
yeah.
check your
Also,
Wi-Fi.
yeah. While Jacob's crashing out here, we really do appreciate everyone listening and like their support. Just like how much you guys love the podcast. We really love to see all the support and people talking about it.
Also,
yeah, that's what we do it for.
Yeah, shout out the server, shout out everyone waiting to join Lost Woods. I think we have like a solid 10 people that joined post draft pick that were like, hey, how can I get into Lost Woods Draft League? And yeah, shout out everybody for watching too. Seriously, like, I appreciate all of you. On a more serious note, thank you, Goats, for recording with me and then pumping out this content like it's nobody else's business. It's only one day a week. This isn't hard. Yeah. Shout out
Only
to
this
co-hosts.
content?
You're
Hey,
off
we have
the
to think
team.
real hard about Tech of the Week like the day before. I'd say it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's so hard to think of Tech of the Week
Yeah,
when everyone's teams are so awesome.
When everyone's so awesome and goated.
Usually we try to have like 4 different techs of the week, but whenever we see like Alex or Rockwell have like a really cool team, we all fight over it, and there goes Jacob.
I'm waiting for the part where Jacob just walks into Chris's room and is like, let's finish the recording.
Yeah.
So Jacob's computer unfortunately died, but they said to if we're still doing the tier list, to remake that if we can real quick, or we just end it here.
I think
it's up to you guys.
I don't know. I feel like the tier list is pretty balanced, like how it was.
Yeah, see last week.
When we were talking about it, like before we started recording, I was like, what changes could we really make to it? Like,
these last few weeks have been like pretty daunting for everybody, but like I feel like there's no change that we really need to make.
Yeah. I think we'll see like who like the real shakeups are about to happen this week, because I feel like so many teams of like equal cookery are just going to face off, and it's like, what's really going to separate them from the rest? Which bird can kill themselves harder? Which ally has the best last letter? I hope Bonnie and Clyde crashes out against my rain goat, and then Jacob needs to just find me in finals so that I can freeze him for a few more turns than last time. That's kind of my take on it all.
That sounds about right. I'm excited. as of recording this, we are 4 days away from Baltimore Regional Championships. So most of these games will be played the Wednesday after. And if you don't see a podcast recording, you know why. But I actually, could I do the outro this time? Honorary?
Of course you can.
If you want.
Go right
I
ahead.
believe
Yes!
Jacob will
Yes!
be on in a couple seconds, but if you want to take it off, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Please do.
Take what off my... Okay.
Okay.
You got onto what I said, damn it.
Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you everybody for viewing the first regular season of the Lost Woods Draft League, and we are now advancing into the quarterfinals, I believe. And yeah, I'm very excited. This top 8 is stacked. All my friends are here. It's kind of like the Smash Bros. Beam, but with friends. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a great time. But yeah, like
welcome back from the void.
Welcome back, Jacob. Yeah.
Do we want to do the tier list real quick?
Do you want to do the tier list like real quick? I think we kind of established that like everything's going to be just about the same for this week. But if we do a little bit of shaking up.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen anyway.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hell yeah.
We're back in
it. Okay.
No.
So I hate to say it, but Chris is in playoffs and is in C tier, and there's several people not in playoffs.
Yeah, I gotta agree, honestly. I think it's just top 8.
Wait. Oh, and then Rockwell.
Yeah, still gets...
I think
still gets B because they have like the tied record, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Rockwell goes to B. Yeah. That tied record really pumped them up as well.
Does the giant being felled mean that
there's no one in John tier anymore?
It's open. It's open for the taking. It's open for the taking.
It's open for whoever wins the draft league. Like, we're in the final stretch now.
True. Let's have a communicative decision. No one goes into John tier unless you win the entire thing.
I like that.
Now,
This is beautiful.
How do we feel about the order of all of these? Because I think King Gambit
I feel like this is
has a strong
seeding.
case.
Dude, okay. You can't put it over
you can't really
the
put
guy
it over the whole team.
who
Let's
beat...
keep them there.
Yeah.
Like, I can't put King Gambit over the guy who beat it, but do we put King Gambit over the guy who's playing it? A little bit of...
Fine, no. Put Anthony and his Gambit over me. That's fine.
A little bit of bulletin
It's
board
fine, I have
material.
the edge anyways.
I vouch for not doing that. I feel like any singular Pokemon in playoffs should be under the players.
Nah, King Gambit's still that good, I think.
He's the GOAT, but like, nah, not yet.
So you're saying put Gambit down below Chris?
Yeah, that works.
I think I'd take Gambit.
So. I think Chris could take Gambit.
In a fight, or?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
However your heart desires, you know?
Yeah, whatever you want to say, yeah.
Peak. Okay, before this gets too crazy. Yeah.
Last thing is we are doing seeding.
Okay, then bye, Tony.
That works.
You know.
Oh, Discord's stupid.
I don't know what just happened. There we go.
Did it? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is straight up just like standings, and we'll see how this first week of playoffs shakes everything up. Pretty established where all of C and D tier are going to be, and like a quarter of B tier, but we'll see about shakeups for the end of the season.
Yeah. That feels like it.
Wraps it up.
Cool. Do you guys want to do the outro again?
You sure?
Anthony wants to do it.
I'll do the outro. Thank you all for watching the Lost Woods Draft League regular season finale. And now we're moving on to the playoffs. So expect three more episodes? 1, 2, 3, 4? However many episodes.
3.
However many brackets there are. 3 more episodes. I'll trust Kian because he's in college. Yeah.
Dude, I'm 4.
Babies can get degrees, dude. It's 2024. Thank you all for watching. It's been a wonderful time hosting. Everybody that watches this, thank you. We all love pumping this content out, usually every week. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. We sincerely mean it. And we hope you keep watching for more. And look out. Might have some more guests on Lostwood Season 2. Some special guests. But yeah. Stay tuned. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Good night.